My name is Rebeccah Cope. I'm now the program director of two parks, which is Historic Yates Mill County Park and Crowder District Park. NC State tremendously helps us in terms of learning about the natural environment of what we have out here and what we can do to make sure that we're actually maintaining the resources out here to support the wildlife effectively, in addition to allowing the public to come in and have a good recreational experience. The park is actually a great place for birding because of the diversity of natural habitats that we have out here, everything from the pond and the pond edge to the upstream wetlands, the downstream creek. And then in addition to that, we have several different forest types, from an old field type pine forest to an oak hickory climax forest. So many different kinds of birds that would be available in those different habitat types. In addition to the fact that anywhere you have the transition between those types of habitat, you're going to see a lot of different wildlife and especially birds. We also do things like habitat enhancement. We have best management practices such as wetland ponds that actually drain the roof water from our buildings, filter the pollutants so we get better water quality in the pond. We maintain our riparian buffer, the vegetated area around the edge of the pond. That gives shelter for birds. It also provides foods for them depending on what we plant. We'll try to put out native vegetation for them that would provide a variety of food sources and things along those lines. And then in addition to that, we've got nest boxes, roost boxes, say for bluebirds. We also have wood duck boxes. There's even bat boxes for other types of wildlife. And those are usually Eagle Scout projects or Girl Scout projects and folks that are coming out and helping us to actually maintain them. We have binoculars that we have available inside the park center. We also have viewing scopes from our boardwalks. Those are permanently mounted scopes. There's no coin necessary. We figured that by the time you tried to fish out a coin from your pocket, that the bird would be gone. So we wanted to make sure that folks would be able to grab a scope and see something on the pond. And then inside the center, we actually have things like duck decoys, waterfowl decoys. So if folks were seeing a duck, say, across the pond and couldn't figure out what it is, you can come in and look at the decoys and get a good feel for how to identify them. We've also got field guides inside that folks can come and see, in addition to the exhibits that help to sort of explain what you're going to see or who you're going to see on the pond. So in addition to birding, there are a variety of other opportunities for folks to see wildlife out on the site. Certainly a good variety of mammals and other types of critters. We got a lot of nocturnal animals like the beavers, who are a great contrast for us. They build dams, the folks build dams down at Yates Mill, so we actually like to be able to sort of compare and contrast. And actually the beavers are quite active off of our wetlands boardwalk, which is upstream. Every time you go out to the wetlands boardwalk, the terrain around it changes based on what the beaver are doing or whether we've had a flood. So it's very fascinating to be able to go out and get a sense of what they're doing. To me, opening Yates Mill was a case study in how you bring the people in. Hopefully, by bringing them in, they're exposed to a place that's designed in a way that supports the environment. They can learn a little bit about why we want to preserve special places like our historic site, Yates Mill, in addition to open spaces, why those things are important. They hopefully gain an appreciation for that and then want to spread the news to other folks in the world. But their feet have an impact, their trash has an impact, their noise has an impact. Certainly if they bring a dog or something like that, that'll have an impact as well. So that's a challenge for us, is to be able to get out there and really help folks to understand why it is that we have some unusual rules in that way. So other nature-based activities that are allowed out here at Yates Mill would include things like hiking. We have 3 miles of natural surface hiking trails. This site was designed specifically to be a controlled use site, and so we had to agree with NC State to allow only certain activities. So hiking was one of those things. Hiking and strolling along the trails, enjoying the benches. Picnicking, we have scattered picnic areas throughout the park. As far as boating, traditionally folks could come in and bring their boat, but we limit when we have the boats on the water. Again, because of the research aspects of the site and the fact that we have the nesting waterfowl, we don't want too many boats on the water. We decided that we needed to be able to control how many boats we had on the water at one time. And so what we do is we actually offer a program called Paddle the Pond. It's a canoeing program. Right now that's just once a month from May to September. We hope ultimately to be able to do a boat rental where we could put a certain number of boats out on the water on any given weekend, but we're not there from a staffing capacity yet, so that's on our wish list as something that we would like to do at a later time. We're trying to get folks out into the natural environment. We're managing our resources to support wildlife and the people. Environmental education plays a big role in Wake County Parks, Recreation, and Open Space in all of our parks. To us, that is a key thing for folks to really start to understand how we as humans fit into the natural environment, what we gain from it, what it provides to us, why it's there, and it's filtering the earth, it's making sure that there's a place for the wildlife to be. And so really that interconnectivity is something that we feel is very important. North Carolina is a very unique attraction in that we have year-round activities. The state of North Carolina, we have the mountains to the sea, and so we really have a variety of different habitats, everything from the cold mountain sort of climb all the way down to the very tropical areas, say, that you would see in Southport, Wilmington, and some of those spots. So trails that actually extend all the way from the mountains down to the coast, and folks have really collaborated everywhere from the state level down to the local level to try to bring very good recreation and environmental type experiences to the public in ways that perhaps one agency would not have been able to do on their own. We do have the year-round aspect, and so we have the ability to get out everywhere from the winter time all the way into the summer. Even though summer can be a little bit hot, we still are able to get out and really enjoy the natural resources and the historic sites and other attractions that we have in the state, which is a nice thing.